start your business to go to another level. You must try to learn and hear something new. So make the change today. So don't procrastinate and see your business grow and change. So check out Testing Results, yeah, with Toni Harris Taylor. Toni Harris Taylor. Testing Results, oh yeah, with Toni Harris Taylor. Yeah, yeah.
Hey there, Toni Harris Taylor with another amazing author of the Lead Loud Entrepreneurs Building Legacy Through Leadership book project. Welcome, Dr. Toccara Nicole Steele, her
What's
whole name.
up? Hello, hello. I'm excited to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you for saying yes. And you said yes to being a sponsor of the Viral Networking Conference, which got you the authorship opportunity. Now you're not new to authoring. In fact,
No,
that's your whole business. So in your own words, tell us, who are you and what do you do?
absolutely. So I go by the identity architect as I help budding authors identify who they are and helping them to own their authorship journey and their authority in the authorship space.
Awesome. So I happen to know that you are a corporatepreneur. You work full time
Yeah.
and you have this entrepreneurship thing going on. So, what led you to become an entrepreneur?
For sure. So 2017 was the year, so many things were going on in my life, and it was like I felt that launching season. I'm sure all of y'all can relate that there's just a season that comes and you're like, okay, if not now, when? And I had been doing this work for a long time. I started off with consulting and then I merged publishing into the fold because Jehovah God told me to. That's a whole nother story for another time, just the obedience factor. So I knew it was time. I had already been doing consulting unofficially since 2012. And so I contacted one of my friends. I said, I'm finally ready to do this. And he created my LLC, and the rest has been history.
Wow, it's so cool when you hear and you obey and it works out. Is it a perfect journey though?
Oh my God, no. Oh, do you know how many times I just want to do this? Just throw in the towel. Just be like, I'm done. Just walk away from it because there's so many ups and downs and you have to really figure out. Sometimes you say, am I called to this for real? Like, am I being punked? Where's Ashton Kutcher? Like, somebody grab me, So you have to know that you know that you know. And that's what keeps me grounded, the why and the purpose.
How has this, I know you're also a leader in your job, so you can work in both. How has being an entrepreneur and being a corporatepreneur helped you be a better leader?
Man, so one of the things that I've learned is the power of meeting people where they're at. And that's really important as an entrepreneur as well. So, what that looks like sometimes can be really difficult because people are in different places and spaces in their journey. Um, but you have to meet people where they're at. And even just with my leadership style, I've been a leader since 18. I've
Mm.
been in restaurants and the whole nine, Clinique counters, you name it. And I've been doing it all since 18. And I'm at the tender age of 43 now. And when I look back, it's more so of knowing who you are again and being open to the growth process. Um,
Mm-hmm.
there's times and spaces when growth is very, very, very uncomfortable. Very,
And
very,
in fact, let's just say this. If your
yeah.
growth isn't uncomfortable, you ain't growing.
No, no. And you again, what's your why? What's grounding you?
Yeah.
And knowing your core values, that has helped me as a leader for sure.
Yeah. So, how do you define leadership since you've been in thinking about all your journey? How do
Mhm.
you define leadership and what's it mean to lead loud?
Leading loud to me is being my authentic self. And sometimes people think that that's a cliche. I've learned that the best leadership comes from my lived experiences with other leaders who may have dropped me, who have treated me like crap. All those elements have shaped my leadership style. And now I'm that authentic leader where I'm like, okay, let's have this conversation, even though it might pain me to have the conversation, but it's my leadership style of being authentic and transparent as much as possible. But I give shout outs to the leaders that weren't the best because they've shaped my leadership walk in ways that I can't even begin to name. Just how to treat people, how to be
Sure.
compassionate, how to listen. Sometimes as a leader, it's not meant for you to say a word. It's meant for you to just sit there and let that person on the other side of your desk talk. So just holding space for people, take space, make space. What does that look like, sound like? So all of those things that make a leader for sure.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So tell us about a moment you had to take a drastic step to grow as a leader. And what
Ooh,
did you learn from that?
ooh, wee. I would say in 2020, it was during the pandemic, as we all know, and Jehovah God kept knocking at me like, I need you to pivot in your business. I need you to pivot in your business. And I kept hearing it, but I was so scared because it was the pandemic and all these things going on. So I pivoted and added services to my publishing company in 2020. And that was one of my most productive quarters ever in my business was back then in 2020 in the fourth quarter.
Mhm.
So it was scary. The unknowns were very visible. But yet I knew I had to take the leap and launch some things. And man, that changed my life because I call it, I'm from Chicago, so I had to be very careful when I say this. I call it being trigger happy, just pull
Ah,
the trigger and just pump on. Sometimes
yes.
it's scary to launch a thing and just, you know what, I'm just gonna do it afraid anyways. And so that season taught me a lot. And I'm even in one of those seasons right now where there's a lot of things that are being rebranded in my business. And I'm like, okay, let's go, So
I
yeah.
like the term trigger happy, not in a gun way, not in a violent way, but what you learned is you got to just do it. Just do it.
Yeah.
And yes, we have to figure it out along the way.
Yeah.
And it will shape you into being a better leader when you do it that way. So what legacy are you intentionally building with your brand?
Absolutely. I love this question. So, one of the things I'm really passionate about is helping people to get their stories out for multiple reasons. One of the things that I love about being able to help people from the concept to the published author space is that creating a book is a part of their legacy. Telling their story is a part of their legacy. For some people, starting the brand is a part of their legacy. And a lot of times, creating the book is the foundation for them to do so much more. So it's exciting to be a part of their walk, to be able to at least say, I'm a published author for the first time or for the fifth time, because books will always be available. I don't care what anybody says. You can always go somewhere and find a book of whoever it is that you love. And so being able to help people create that legacy is really important for me.
Yeah, so the legacy creator, you your business is to create legacy. It's like and helping people to get their voice out. I wish I heard a TED talk the other day, and she was talking about getting your story out and how she wished she knew more about her grandparents, that
Hmm.
they weren't writing books back then. And now we got AI. There's
Hmm.
no excuse
For
for
sure.
not, at the very least, leaving your book for your future generations to
Yep.
lead.
Yeah,
So I'm excited because your business is all about helping create legacies. And by by exchange, you are creating legacy for yourself.
Yeah, it's
right?
exciting.
If it wasn't for Dr. Steele, I never would have got my book done.
And
I
I hear
never would
that
have told.
all the time. Oh, and it's moving because when you move yourself out of that, it's not about me, it's about them. It's a,
Yes.
and that's and I hear it so often and it's like, ooh, well, I just help push you to get there. And sometimes we just need that gentle push. We need that accountability for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So, how has your leadership impacted your family, your community, and your industry? Let's start
Mm,
with family
let's
first.
start with family. Woo-wee. So my family was very leery of me stepping into a place called authorship. And a lot of times we hear it, what goes on in the house stays in the house. So I'm very open and transparent when I'm telling my stories because I want
Mhm.
other people to feel that Me Too factor and I want other people to feel that they're not alone. So with that, my family was very upset when they read one of my books and found out that I went through some things that I didn't tell them first. And
Oh.
so, um, my leadership style in my walk with my family was very rocky at first. Now they get me. They understand, they respect it, and they honor it. But it wasn't like that when I first started this journey back in 2017. Um, yeah, my family stopped speaking to me because they picked up a book and read some things. And sometimes you're like, they ain't gonna pick up the book
Well,
and
I
read
was
it.
going to say, so you choose now to read?
And that's what I'm thinking. Oh, they having a whole session. Did you see what she wrote on page 89? Hold on. And then you gotta flip over to 84. Go back there. I'm like, I didn't know that was taking place. And so um yeah, they were very
But I mean, sometimes you have to write the dirty things so that the next generation can clean itself. Now, I
exactly.
just made that up,
No,
but
that's
that
real.
was
That's real.
powerful and that was real. So, how has your leadership impacted your community?
Absolutely. So, man, now that I live in Omaha, Nebraska, we have an authorship guild that we started, myself, Nicole Lewis, and Alan Black. And we've been working at it for about a year and a half now, and it's growing and it's impacting the community in so many ways. We have a TV show called The Authors Authority Lounge, the official show for authors, which typically highlights authors here in Omaha. So we're changing the game in Omaha specifically by allowing people to see how authorship is a powerful journey. And so even with that, we're hosting our first summit this year. We're really excited about that. And
Yay.
so, just being able to step out and show people how powerful authorship is. People are saying, man, I haven't picked up a pen in years, but I'm watching y'all. Thanks so much. And so we have pop up with a pen that people come to monthly, and it's just a space for people to come and write and understand that authorship is a community. So it's really exciting to be in a space where we're seeing people like, man, I've been holding on to this notebook for 13 years, and then here y'all come, and now I can, finally put the book together. So we're definitely shaping the community just by reintroducing authorship as a form of healing and being able to create legacy and to be able to show your community that stories still matter.
And what I hear is positive peer pressure. You guys have come together to institute positive peer pressure to
Sure.
encourage people to get the dang book done. This is my 14th book, and thank you, baby. I like that clapper. This is my 14th book, and if it doesn't have to be hard,
No,
right? It is not, and nobody's asking for a 250-page book. Nobody wants to read that
that's right.
anymore.
Right.
So you have knowledge that you can share, you have stories you can share, and Dr. Steele can get it done for you. All right. So, no, what core values drive your decisions as a business owner and a leader?
Um, So, quick story. I remember working with somebody to create my branding kit a couple of years ago, and they asked me this question. And I was like, who knows that? And now I get it. So, one of my core values that I lean into is compassion.
Mm,
Um, and compassion because there's times where people will come to me and say, I'm ready to write. And then I don't hear from them. And then they come back a couple years later and like, okay, here, I'm ready to write. And you know what they tell me? They say, thank you for being compassionate with me and pushing me and not giving up on me.
mm, mm.
I hear it often because you can be ready to write your book, but not ready to write your book. And because there's still things that are taking place internally with your healing process where you're just not ready. And
Yeah.
so I leave that door open for my clients because I know sometimes it's hard for them to like push it out. It's like birthing a baby, literally. So compassion
Yeah.
um, is one of the big ones. One of the other ones that is love.
Mm,
I love my clients. I do, and I tell them that often. Um, and one of the things that I love about my clients is I said, okay, it's time to fire me. And they're like, we're not ready to go. You know,
right. Right. Right.
how else can we hold on to you? What else can we, can we do this? And so, um, I realized that my coaching style is a little bit different. I was just having this conversation with someone, but my coaching style is a little bit different because of the compassion and the love that I have for people, and understanding that service is one of my core values too, because that's one of my love languages.
Yeah.
So, I do love to serve. I do love to help people, see what they can't see so they can write the book and not making it difficult and not having to overthink it. And sometimes they don't have anybody else in their corner, so they're pushing the baby out by themselves. And
Yeah.
so, midwife is definitely one of my other core values too.
Yeah. I saw that on your bio when we first met, and I'm like, what do you mean, midwife? You helping people birth babies? And so go ahead and say more about that title of a midwife.
Yeah, so I have a sweatshirt that I rock where it says, "Some birth babies, I birth books."
Mm,
And so, being able to help people, again, meeting people where they're at and helping them to birth out that story because sometimes it comes with pain, it comes with trauma, it comes with disappointment. And so helping them to understand that, okay, you come this far, we're not going backwards. We're just gonna just grab a little bit of our story and we're gonna pull that forward. We don't have to stay in the past.
that's
So
right.
helping them to understand that so they can birth the book. And I'm literally there with my clients from the concept all the way till they're done because, and I do that. Some people think I'm crazy, but I do that because they need that accountability, and some people
Yes.
need that the cheerleader. And when you think of a doula, when you think of a midwife, that's what they're doing. They're massaging the client. I massage my clients with them with my words and my love, and so helping them to birth that baby out, which we're talking about a book.
Yeah. Love it. Love it. Love it. So, was there a time you ever wanted to give up? And if so, what kept you going?
Yes, yes, and yes. Um,
I don't think it's possible to be an entrepreneur and not
and
think
not want to
about
give
giving up.
up. Exactly. I totally agree. Um, and you know this, but I have no problem sharing. It's been a rocky year just with the loss of my brother and some other things that have been, coming, my way. And it feels like hit after hit. And then you still have to run the business. And for me, I still have to work the job and I still have to care for me. And so, I was like, I can't do this. I need to drop something because
Hmm.
it's too much. Um, but I have wonderful people in my life that either they're praying with me, they're praying for me, they're encouraging me, and that doesn't make you selfish to have people like that in your life. It doesn't,
No,
and some people think, oh, well, that's selfish if you're pulling on other people. No, it doesn't. Sometimes you need that to be able to pull yourself back up into the places and spaces that you're supposed to be in, that you're
that's
called to be in.
correct.
We all
Correct.
have a season, and seasons they shift. So, yeah, it's again the people that I have around me. And 2018, I was very intentional. I went on, Lord knows I did it wrong, and I repented several times, but I got rid of the people that I just couldn't take into my new spaces. I
Yeah.
had to. It was heavy. It was disappointing. It was the people, oh, your little business and oh, your little this and who do you think you are that you can do that? I had to get rid of those
Yeah.
folks.
Yeah. And they sometimes you want to give up because of the people that you're surrounded by. If you're
Absolutely.
surrounded by the right people, they won't let you give up.
That's it.
Now, it's up to you to release and receive.
That's it.
Release the right people and receive the right people. Or
Yeah.
release the wrong people,
All of
receive the
that.
right people. So, how do you show up? You know, that's one of my mantras, show up. So, how do you show up for your team, clients, network when it gets tough?
Yeah.
That's a
Um,
true leader. It's
that
not when
it
it's
is
easy.
when it's tough. Um, Prime example at work, just some of the things that I've personally been going through. I don't show that side to my people. I'm there to support them. I'm here to do the mission. I'm here to support the vision of the organization I work for. And so, some people are like, oh, you're masking. No, I know how to compartmentalize and show up where I need to show up, no matter how I'm feeling, because they don't need that extra energy. I
Correct.
can I can take that back home with me when I'm done. So learning how to compartmentalize those feelings and those emotions, especially when you're a leader, because when you're a leader, it's not really about you. It's about getting the job done. It's about cultivating a team, building a mission, utilizing your skill sets, of course, to do the things. But it ain't about, no one wants to hear about your personal life and what happened last night. They don't want to hear about that. So I've learned how to continue to show up, even when it hurts, even when I don't feel like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Um, I take the moments that I need to take the moments and isolate, but I don't stay there. Again, I have wonderful people that check on me. I have wonderful people that I check on. I have a great accountability system. And I suggest if you don't have a accountability system, find folks that are going to keep you accountable, but make sure that it's equal, where it's not all about the withdrawals, it's about the deposits that you're putting into somebody's also.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that. Um, what's the best leadership lesson you've learned from failure or rejection?
Woo! Do we have enough time? I don't know. The best lesson, one of the best lessons that I learned from a former manager of mine is not to allow their issues on how they see me become my issues on how I see me. Case in point, I found out that this individual was very jealous of the life that I lived outside of the work that I was doing. And I was doing this work. Very envious of, well, how did you get started? How much money do you make? Da, 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 just all the things that weren't any of her business.
Mm-hmm.
And then she started attacking me in the workplace because I wasn't sharing that information.
Mhm. Mhm.
So, and then I had to go to HR and it was just messy. But what I learned was, if that's how she saw me, that doesn't mean how I have to see myself.
Correct.
And
Correct.
and that's a lesson, and some people have it really bad where they're continuously comparing their lives to other people's lives. And one of the things I've learned, especially here in the past couple of months, Jehovah God loves me enough that I have my own identity for real, for real. And I don't have to look to the left, to the right. He's gonna make sure that I always have what I need. So it's really important, and he tells me who I am.
Yeah.
So that's what
Yeah.
I don't live by the
So Lisa Nichols says, what you think about me is none of my business. Right?
that
So
part.
what that girl thought about you had nothing to do with you. Had
No,
nothing to do with you. But sometimes we wear
yes,
what other people think about us.
for
It ain't
sure.
got nothing to do with me.
That part. Nothing at all. Anyways, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So you took that rejection, you turned it around, and but it's difficult when you're going through it.
Yes. Yes.
Because you probably would have shared some of the information, but you had a sense that she wasn't even asking for the right reasons, right?
No. Yeah. And
So,
and it's interesting because those that I work with now and I share my horrible manager stories, they're like, "Thank God for her." Because you wouldn't be the leader you are if it wasn't for that. And I was like, okay, well, I guess that's a different way of seeing it.
it's
But
a better way of seeing it because you've taken those lessons and turned them around, and
yeah,
now it's made you a stronger leader. So, how's being a part of a community like the Drastic Results community helped you to lead louder or build faster?
well, I'll say that, and I think you already know this, but um, coming in contact with you was definitely godsend for many reasons. But one of the greatest reasons that I'm thankful is because sometimes you need that mentor, that big sister to lean on, but also glean on. And what I mean by glean on is there's places and spaces where you know that you can achieve and you're like, well, okay, let me walk and watch her and see how she does. And that's not envious.
Right.
So let's clear that up because some people be like, "Oh, so you're envying Tony?" No, you can admire someone's walk and
Yeah,
appreciate their walk and say, "Okay, how can I do a little bit something a little bit different?" Because you're seeing that it can be done.
correct.
That's maturity, if I can say so, where you're challenging yourself to go to the next level in your business or your mindset or whatever it looks like. And so I'll definitely say being a part of the community helps me to see that things can be I can achieve different things within my business, within my brand, within myself by watching other people, being able to achieve those things. So yeah.
Well, I am so grateful that you've come into our lives and you see me as a big sister, mentor, and I'm just happy that you said yes to stepping into an unknown space.
Yeah.
Yeah, we met on social media and you didn't know me, and we live in two totally different cities, and now we're like family. Like you know my mom. It's crazy how that happens. So, but it's because of who you are. So now, who inspired your leadership style? And you've said a few things, but who inspired your leadership style and what qualities from them do you embody now?
This is great. Um, let's see if I can mention this without tearing. Um, my grandfather. My grandfather was the leader of our house. He was fearless. He was bold. He was hilarious. Um, but he was such a great provider, and his leadership definitely, even when he would take me to work as a little girl, he would show me off, which my grandbaby, you know how you do. You know how you do, Tony, your grandbabies.
Yes,
And
I do.
uh, everybody respected him. Everybody honored him. People wanted to be in his presence. People wanted to learn from him. Um, and it wasn't until a couple years ago, like the dots started really connecting to
Mm,
for connecting for me that my grandfather was truly a leader. Sometimes when we think about leaders, we think about, the greats. We forget about what's in our own house.
yeah, yeah,
And my grandfather was that guy. He made sure we were well taken care of. He made sure that he would sit and give us the wisdom that we needed to
yeah,
make those decisions. He would never judge, but he would give that loving wisdom. And anybody who sat down with him, whether family or not, and they come and ask him a question, he would shoot it to them straight and give them that love and that wisdom. And I think when I think about a leader and I think about who I am, I have a lot of his qualities.
Yeah. So what do you think specifically you embody from your granddad today?
Mm, wow. I would say I'm a wise young lady. Like I'm
Yeah,
a
you are. Uh-huh.
I have to honor that part. But growing up around your elders will make you wise.
Yeah.
And and so that wisdom I know that I got from him and my grandma on that one, for sure.
Yeah. You are definitely wise beyond your years. But what
Thank
I like about you is that you are not so wise you can't be humble enough to say, well, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
Right. And so I know that you've learned a lot being in my space and will continue to learn, but I love your humbleness of saying, well, that's new to me. I never heard that. Right.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
appreciate that about you.
Thank
So,
you.
what bold moves or drastic strategies help you to stand out and grow your business?
One of the most drastic strategies, I think I talked about it, but literally pulling the trigger. Um, you're gonna land when you launch. You're going to. You just don't know how. And what I'm learning is perfect once I land.
Mm,
But just leap. Just go for it. Um, I tried something new a couple weeks ago in my business and it's working. And I was like, whoa. And it's pretty cool to see that it's working. And with that, what I realize is that taking those bold steps is scary as heck, but it goes away and
yeah.
then calmness comes.
Well, it's like every other thing in our lives. When it's new, it feels uncomfortable. Think
Yeah.
about driving,
Oh
right?
my
When we
gosh.
first learned to drive, how uncomfortable it was. And now we barely are mindlessly driving. So I tell my clients all the time, it's out of your comfort zone. Face it, it's okay. It'll be okay. The next thing
Yeah.
you know, it'll be second nature and you'll be like, well, Toni was just right. So,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
so what advice would you give someone who's playing small in their leadership?
Woo. Okay. No, I'm just kidding. First, I would tell people, um, what is it that's holding you back? You need to do the work to identify that.
Yeah.
And and sometimes that can be a scary thing because it's not on the surface. And what I mean by that, it's not in front of us. Sometimes we have to dig to get that. And it may be something that happened in the workplace some years ago. It might have been your childhood trauma, um, childhood upbringing, because not everybody experienced a traumatic childhood. Maybe it's something in your upbringing.
Mm-hmm.
It was being teased on the playground. Maybe it's something.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
with whoever or whatever you believe in, I know for me, I've asked Jehovah God to show me. And when I saw it and when I continue to see it, it gives me the foundation of what I need to work on. So don't be scared to work on yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, don't be afraid of what you're gonna dig up. Um, because digging is required to grow.
Yeah. Absolutely. You got to plant something in order to grow. Right? You got to give God something to bless. And that
Yeah,
means you have to plant, you got to take some drastic steps and you
yeah,
got to plant some things
yeah.
in order for it to grow to the next level. So, how are you helping others to rise as you rise?
So I would say, especially in the authorship space, I have different challenges. So I recently launched a 5-day challenge. It was so good. Just helping people to jumpstart their authorship journey. And what I learned from that is that people really want community. They want people who look like them, sound like them. They want people who are going to be transparent. they want a safe space where they can share. So I'm definitely going to continue my 5 day challenges once a month to be able to provide that for people. One of the other things I have to bring back, nothing like a good road trip to remind you what works. I did a retreat for my birthday a couple years ago, and it was amazing. Women were locked in, and we were able to map, people were able to get chapters of books done. And so going back to what works,
Yeah,
or and sometimes we forget what works because we get busy and we're like, oh, well, we want to try this squirrel and we're gonna try this out. Go back to what works. If it
yeah,
works, tweak it, build upon it. And so those are the two major things that I'm going to be working on, along with the authorship guild that we have. It's called the Authors Authority Authorship Guild. We're going to be launching some memberships here going into 2026. And so basically what that looks like is people who want to learn how to create a landing page, or because some people don't know how to do that.
yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
or when you're going to a vending event, setting up as an author, what does that look like? What does signage look like? What do banners look like? Some people don't know how to set any of that up. So creating that space, accountability, and just helping those, especially the budding authors that they're new to it. Because the reason I got into this space, one of the reasons was I got scammed really bad. And so
Oh, I don't think I knew that.
oh yeah, I got scammed. And it was crazy because we all confronted the person. It was a co-author book project. Confronting them
Oh,
might have not have been like it, anyways. It ended up being really successful for us to all confront her. She no longer does the work in this space, but what it taught us all is that we have a story and a journey, and it
yeah,
ends any of us from becoming authors one, two, three, four, five times. But it was definitely discouraging. So with budding authors, I like to give them the information that they need, that they don't have to pay 5 figures to get a book done, because some people will empty out their bank accounts to get the book done
yeah,
just because there's a lack of knowledge that goes on. But there's also the height of the excitement for people to birth a book, so they don't know.
yeah.
So really being able to provide the tools and the know-how for budding authors, those people are like, I've been thinking about a book, but, and helping them to say, I've been thinking about a book and helping them to walk through that.
Well, here's our final question. At your funeral, what do you
Oh,
want people to remember about you and the work you've done?
yeah. Um, I want people to remember me as a cheerful, happy person, full of energy and love and light. Um, People often say, like, do you ever have a bad day? Yeah, of course I do. But I want people to um, speak well of me. And that's just being honest.
Yeah,
And I want it to be like a storytelling session, like just to be able to tell stories and to be able to love one another while people are telling stories, because I feel like
love
being
that.
yeah, I don't want it to be a sad thing. Just tell stories. I'm fine with that. Remember this time when Toccara did da 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 and crack up. I don't care, you know. But just the stories and the love and the compassion that I want people to have for each other, because it's really important. When someone dies, it's sad, but it doesn't have to be like a homegoing service. Just tell some stories. I'll be
Yeah,
fine. I want to be cremated anyways, so we're good.
there you go. So tell everybody how to get in touch with you.
Yes. So the best way would be you can go to yourauthorsauthority.com. I have a note section where you can chat me immediately once you land on my website. You can also email me at hello@yourauthorsauthority.com. So those are probably the best ways to reach me.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for trusting me. You didn't know me from anybody and you trusted me, and now here you are. What number book is this for you?
13.
Okay, there you go. So
Yes.
we have been in a lot of books. We've written our own books, and here you are again in a collab book. So
I
I'm
love
excited.
them.
Yes, me too. And it's a great way to become an author.
There is.
Well, thank you so much. This is Toni Harris Taylor saying take a drastic step today for a fantastic tomorrow, and we'll see you with another fabulous author of Lead Loud: Entrepreneurs Building Legacy Through Drastic Leadership.